Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel Couples Vibes. In the last video, we went to Worldwide Corals, or maybe a few videos ago. I'm not sure the order of these videos that are coming out. But yeah, we went to Worldwide Corals. I picked out some rock, and I kind of teased you guys on what I'm doing. But come with me, and I'll show you exactly what's happening, and I'll bring you guys along. Here is my current tank. It's a 35-gallon fluval all-in-one. It's got the back there with all my filtration. But yeah, it's a 35-gallon. It's starting to outgrow me a little bit. I want to add more fish. I want to add some bigger fish. So I decided to actually get an upgrade. The other issue about this tank, so there's a ledge right here. So this ledge is where our cat likes to go sit and look at the fish. And she likes to stare at them, and then she has easy access to get on top of the light. You can tell I don't have a lid on it anymore because she actually broke it. I had a mesh screen on there, and she walked on it and it gave out and she fell in there, and yeah, so I don't have a lid on there anymore, so now she knows not to actually go in there. But we got the tank before we got the cat, and so we put it here, and it wasn't a good place for it. But yeah, between that, first I was going to move it, so I was going to move the tank over to another location, but I was like, if I'm going to do that, I might as well upgrade the tank while I'm doing it. So I'm going to go show you what we have. Alright, so here she is. This is going to be my new tank. As you can see, there's no ledge. There are bookshelves here, but I'm going to move these so my cat Marie, she still won't have access to be able to jump up there. At least it'll be harder for her to get to it. It's mitigating risk, right? But yeah, so more about the tank. This is an Innovative Marine 80-gallon SR. So SR stands for Shallow Reef. So this is their 80-gallon shallow reef tank, and you can kind of see it's quite bigger than the other tank from the 35 to the 80. So yeah, this is the tank we're gonna set up. I'm gonna bring you along on the journey on how I set it up, the steps I take. But first thing is gonna be to aquascape it. All right, so I'm getting myself set up. So you can see I got my rock. I got more boxes, but for now, I'm going to use the ones that I got from Worldwide Corals the other day. I'm just going to use that because I know that's 80 pounds. I have some more if I need spare pieces and if some things don't work. But I have those. And then in this box, I have some rubble from the last time I did. So if you like, look in there, just like little pieces of rock. And they're different sizes, so if I need to fill anything in. But yeah, for the main tip I have is what I normally do is I create a little template of what the bottom of the tank is and the display area for the tank. So you can see I kind of made the bottom so that it keeps me in line. And then I have a height guide so I don't go above the tank line. But yeah, so I'm going to start scaping this, and then I'll kind of show you what I end up doing. Alright, so before I start, I just kind of want to give you guys a tour of kind of the different types of rock you can get. So they do have live rocks that they have already like cycled, and they're just sitting in vats of water. I don't like getting live rock because you don't know what you might get. There might be critters on there that like you don't want. So I generally go for dry rock. Eventually, as time progresses, this will start getting coralline on it, and I'll start getting the color that it needs. But it starts out white, and so you can grab pieces like this, which is just their general, like I don't remember their standard marker rock. You just it's like a kind of like a boulder, just a regular boulder style rock. So this can be your base. The other thing they have is, so you can see the top kind of looks the same, but on the bottom, you'll see it's flat. So they've gone and cut it on the bottom to make it flat. So when you put it on your tank, right, you just put it on the, and it's your base foundation rock. And so that way you know it's like flat on the glass on the bottom. And then the other thing I found when I was there, I didn't know they did this, but they have ones that are cut on both sides. So if you wanted to like place one down and you wanted another flat surface, you could put this on top of this. So you got flat on flat, and it kind of makes a little, you know, a little structure there. And then the last style they do have is shelf rock. So, grab this one. This one's a better example. So you can kind of see it's flat, but it's not cut, so it's like a naturally flat rock. And so these are good for placing coral on if you want a good shelf, essentially, to put coral on. I actually haven't used much of the shelf rock because my last one I used a bunch of just the general and the flat base rock. But I think I'm gonna try using some of these to create more locations that I can put coral in the future. Because my last scape, I found out, is not good for coral. There's too many overhangs. There were shadow spots. But yeah, so I know this looks like it's hitting the edge, but I did put this in there just to kind of see how bad it was. But no, there's plenty of room. The other thing when you're scaping is make sure you have enough space around the edges so that when you're cleaning, you can actually clean the tank and get, you know, any scrapers or anything you need behind and around the rock. And then it also helps with flow, right? So if you have flow, you won't have any dead spots, and if there are, you can kind of get to it. Alright guys, so this is kind of the mess that I have on my table. I'm still working on the Aquascape. It's been a few days. I tried a few pieces. I had this one big piece right here. So this one big piece, and I couldn't really find a place for it to fit. I'm still gonna try to see if I can incorporate, because I do like it. It's a big shelf that I can put a lot of coral on, but I gotta figure out where to put it. Maybe I'll break it up. Not sure yet though, but I'm still working on the Aquascape. As you can see, this is kind of where I'm at with it. So what I need to do eventually is actually start epoxying this, so that way it's not loose in the tank, and it makes it a little easier to, you know, put in and get in and out when it's like few little like big structures, instead of like having to recreate all this back in the tank when I go put it in. So I'll show you the epoxy I used, but yeah, I still got to keep working on this. It's coming. The one thing I did get is let me show you. I got these little egg crates. This is like aquarium safe egg crate. I got it on Amazon. I think it says, I don't know if it says it on there, but yeah, this was essentially I forgot how much it was. It wasn't that expensive. So what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna line the bottom. So you can kind of see, I'm gonna put this on the bottom, so that way when I place the rock on, it's not hitting directly on the bottom of the glass, just to another layer of safety to make sure I don't crack any of the glass with the rock. But yeah, I've never done this before. I usually just put it straight on the glass, but with this tank, I wanna be extra careful. So I'm gonna start cutting this and putting it down, and I'll show you kind of how to do it. Like I said, this is my first time actually using it. It seems pretty simple. You just cut it to size. It did say they lock with each other, so I'm gonna see if I can get that working. But yeah, I'm gonna start cutting this now. Alright, as you can see, I did end up using those egg crates. Well, egg crate. It took me 12 of them, and I did have to kind of trim them on the edge to get it fit. So it was like not completely 3x4, but close enough. So I ended up using 12. I think they were 8.5 by 11.5 squares, I believe. But yeah, so these interlock with I can't know if the camera's picking it up. Let's see if I can get to focus on it. But yeah, they have these little connections here. So you just have to kind of use a mallet to get them to squeeze in. But once you got it going, it's not too hard. And so now the rock's going to go on top of this instead of directly on the glass. Alright guys, so it's been a few more days again since the last we saw you. Continue working on the rock, but as you can see, I cleaned up my table, so I was about to get in trouble with that. So like I said, it's been probably a week that I've had the table with the rock on it. So yeah, Marie's gonna be sad because she was like, with the tarp there, she was going underneath, she was using it as a little cave. But yeah, so I did end up putting the rock into the tank. So here's what the final product looks like. And you can see it looks different from what I had before that was on the table. It's because when I started epoxying it, some of them weren't stable, really stable. It wasn't working well, to be honest. So I ended up actually just scaping in the tank. Once I put down the crate, I felt a little more comfortable just scaping within the tank. But yeah, I think it came out pretty good. There's nooks and crannies. There's little caves for our fish to hide in. Plenty of spots to put coral in the future. I didn't epoxy it, so everything's kind of loose in there. But let me see if I can, like this stuff's not, it's not going anywhere. I know this one, I kind of played with it just now, so but I mean, the fish isn't gonna knock that over. The only thing I gotta worry about is when I'm cleaning, just to make sure I don't bump into anything. But I normally don't. And I have plenty of flow on the sides. You can kind of see in the back there. Maybe this is a little close, but I normally don't clean the back, like the back side. Just, I don't can reach back there usually, and I don't see it necessary. I mean, sometimes I kind of like the algae growing on the back there. Adds a little color pop to it. But yeah, so here we go. So that's the final product. The next thing I'm gonna do is get sand. So the next thing is to put sand in there. I have the lights. I'll get that stuff hooked up. Maybe I'll show you the lights I got. But yeah, I really like how this came out. I know it's because I made it, but I like the different elevations, and we'll see how the lighting is. Maybe I might need to change it based off lighting, but there's a lot of overhangs. Yeah, I think I'm glad I took my time to do it, and take my time to kind of think about how I want to do it, and then putting the egg crate really helped. But yeah, so on the next video, like I said, I'll probably put on the lights because I have those already. I'll show you the lights we're putting. And then, yeah, with the innovative marine tanks, it's kind of cool. So I don't know if you'll be able to see back here. It comes with 2 Mighty Jet pumps. So that's already plumbed in there. That's how they come when they install it. But yeah, and then the little, they have different connection types for the return. So we'll see what's best for the flow. But yeah, so next thing is probably the lights.